Day 6, 12:13 a.m. After a long day of nominations, Alex and Jace are now the two that face the block. But there is no time to rest because we are heading straight into our next food task. Now, because there was not really much time in between food tasks, that's why in the last one last week, I had kind of mentioned that the winners would get an advantage. And that still takes place, but it's going to be a lot of different factors as we have 2 planes waiting for you in the task room. In pairs, you will go back there and figure out which plane you're going to be boarding, and everyone will be sent off to a brand new location for the week. It's going to be really exciting. So first up, we're actually going to have our nominees, Jace and Alex, come on back to the airport when we're going to figure out what plane you're going to be boarding tonight. All right, hello, Alex and Jason. Welcome to Big Brother's Airport. Now, since both of you are nominated, you're actually both going to be getting the same plane ticket. So you may now go to your right and board Flight 19. Now, what our housemates don't really know is that each flight is very different. Flight 19 is going somewhere not too great, while Flight 84 is going somewhere amazing. So let's see what the fate is for Sophia and Haven. All right, now both of you were on the winning team last week, and both of you have received nominations. However, Sophia, you only received 1 nomination, so you will actually be boarding Flight 84. Haven, you on the other hand, will be joining your brother in Flight 19. And just like we did with nominations, we're just going to be going around the living room. So Emmanuel and Nico, you guys are next to go to Big Brother's Airport. Uh-huh. Now, both of you were on the losing team last week in the food task, and both of you received nominations. So unfortunately, both of you are going to be joining Flight 19. Next up to go to the airport is Tyson and Pete.
Stay.
Huh? Eloids?
Now, both Tyson and Pete were 2 out of the 5 housemates that received no nominations yesterday. So because of that, you 2 are immediately booked for Flight 84.
Oh, Jess.
Addison and Kristen, both of you are going to be split up for this task. So why don't you come on to the Big Brother Airport and let's see which flights both of you will be taking. Now, even though the nominations you both received were for Addison, Addison took part in last week's task and Kristen did not. So because of that, Kristen will be booked for Flight 19 and Addison will be going over to Flight 84. Tice and Lillian, please head to Big Brother's Airport.
Oh.
All right, Lillian and Tice, let's see. So, you were both on the losing team last week of the food task. However, Tice, you were one of the 5 Sims that did not receive any nominations. So, because of that, you are going to be joining Flight 84. And unfortunately, Lillian, you will be joining Flight 19. Emma and Kaylee, both of you are standing up and ready to go. So why don't you come on in to the Big Brother airport? Now, both Emma and Kaylee were part of the winning team last week, and even though Kaylee received some votes, and Emma was one of the 5 people that received no votes, both of you are booked for Flight 84.
Woo!
Venusa.
Oh.
Alright, so why don't the final 3 housemates, Kate, Ashton, and Jesse, come back to BB Airport, where we will determine your fate. Alright, Kate, remember how you didn't participate last week in the food task? Well, because of that, you are immediately booked for Flight 19, and you have a special treat waiting for you when you get off the plane.
Waste.
So, Ashton and Jesse, we are actually going to determine your fate by the mystery cube. And so far, Ashton has gotten a good response. Now, I'm doing it this way because both of you were on the winning team last week, and technically, Ashton did receive 1 more nomination. However, I thought this would just be a little bit more fun. Sorry, Jesse, but since you didn't get as good of a response from the mystery cube, you will be joining Flight 19.
Lyre.
Flight 19 is now fully booked and ready to depart. And Ashton, you can go ahead into Flight 84, making that all booked up and ready to go as well. Alright, housemates, this is your captain speaking. The doors are now locked and will remain locked until we arrive at our destination. Prepare for a bumpy ride for a few of you, especially Flight 19. I do see a storm approaching. Oh, and sorry about the broken TV.
Oh, God.
Oh,
Two 32 a.m. Our housemates have just finished takeoff and are now able to leave their seats and roam the plane. And of course, in Flight 84, they have a ton of amenities. They have the TV that works, they have some snacks, some refreshments, however, no bathroom. So that could get a bit tricky later on because this flight is very long. Okay, we're going a very long distance away, and it doesn't seem that everyone is too happy to be in there. Sophia is pouting in the back of the plane while the rest of her housemates are enjoying and talking in front of the TV. Alright, so now that we have a bit more time, now that we're actually in flight, why don't I break down this task a bit more? So each flight has been split up into clubs, and of course I have added some activities that earn them points and some that deduct points. And whichever team is able to make it to their vacation and make it back with the most amount of points will win this week's food task. And it's actually pretty important because next week they will be spending a lot of time in the house, and so they will want to be able to use that storage room. When we go ahead and take a peek at Flight 19, we see that Alex has discovered that he likes discussing stories. So he's actually kind of having a good time being able to sit down and chit-chat and bond with everyone. And that's kind of what I love about this task, is that they're all kind of stuck in a room together and they have to start talking. And of course, Kate isn't too happy. And it's kind of funny because if she had taken part last week, she actually would have made it into Flight 84 because she received no votes. "4:49 a.m. Our Sims are now approaching the 3-hour mark of their flight, and, everyone is obviously a little bit annoyed. It's really late at night, they haven't slept after nominations, so naturally some of them are a bit moody, but I'm actually pretty surprised at how good they're keeping it together. All of them are talking to one another, no one is really having too much of a hard time, no one's peed themselves so far, so far so good, surprisingly. Alright, but there is soon going to be an issue with the food. We see that everyone, for now, is just grabbing some drinks, some light refreshments. They do have to help themselves. There is no flight attendant in this flight. However, there is still a trash can. Are they throwing stuff away, though? No, they're putting it on the floor. And I'm sure tempers will begin to flare once things get pretty dirty. And it's the same situation in Flight 84 as well. I just supplied a trash can in there, so things could get filthy over here too, but so far so good, and everyone's really enjoying it over here. They're all watching sports, cheering along, talking to one another. I mean, look at the amount of light bulbs coming from people's heads in here. It's pretty crazy. And I gotta give it to Pete. He is being separated from his wife for a whole week, and I'm interested to see how he gets along with everyone else when he's not so busy woohooing. And I thought it was funny that Tice was kind of glitching out with the CC, and half of him is in the wall. "10:26 a.m. Things are slowly heating up in the plains, but surprisingly not that fast. I thought it would happen a lot sooner, especially considering the fact that they have now been flying for about 8 hours. Plus, yesterday, they were sitting at the sofas for about 12 doing nominations. So they've all been stuck in one place for the past 2 days. And you can definitely tell on some people like Kate and Haven and Nika that they're not too happy about the situation right now. However, they're not acting out. I haven't really seen too much drama take place. And honestly, they're going to keep on flying until I see it. Even Flight 84 is having some issues. I mean, definitely not having a bathroom is going to be a huge problem very soon. And one thing that really annoys me about both planes, apart from the fact that if this was an actual flight and they were standing the whole time, I would feel kind of uncomfortable. But mainly what annoys me is that I did put a refrigerator in there, and do they want to cook just little snacks, get a bag of chips? No, they want to cook a whole meal. And of course they can't because there's no microwave, there's no oven. So now it's just being covered in vegetables because all they want to do is toss salads 24 hours a day. And now, officially, Emmanuel has broken the seal and is the first one, but not the only one, to start peeing all over the place. So now we have trash, we have vegetables, and we have piss all over the floor, when there's been a garbage can there this whole time.
Then Orf.
Phew, Alice.
Chew, Wally K.
One thing I am worried about when it comes to this flight is that all of our supernaturals are on one flight and they're all cooped up together. Now, Jace has not been very happy from the beginning. I think Haven gets annoyed with having to be stuck with Jace all the time. Lillian is actually pretty calm right now. She's mopping up the piss, she's staying chill, but now that Alex is super uncomfortable, I'm worried about him. And then, all of a sudden, Jace reveals himself. He transforms into his dark purple self and then starts emitting his alluring aroma. Now, so far, I have been supplying the vampires with blood pouches, but there aren't any on the plane. So, Jace might be feeling a bit hungry after this 10-hour flight, and this will definitely help him find someone that he can snack on. Now, he did receive one warning point for forcibly taking blood from someone, but if they willingly do it, it doesn't really matter.
Oh, Croyam.
1:14 p.m. After an 11-hour flight, Flight 84 has officially landed, and all housemates are now able to leave the plane. And the location is still a bit of a mystery. It's a tropical destination, a little villa that you won't be allowed to leave, but the door is now unlocked, and enjoy the rest of your trip. And remember to do those activities for your club, as you want to earn more points than the other team. It did take a little longer than I wanted it to, but finally our Sims are now exploring their new resort. And they immediately rushed to go use that bathroom after not having access to one for 11 hours. And sadly, only Addison was able to make it. Tice couldn't make it all the way to the bathroom without peeing himself, and Sophia has to sit in the washroom and just kind of wait for Addison to finish. Hopefully she can hold it in time.
Ha.
Now, Flight 84's main activities is going to be grilling, hot tubbing, using a hookah, dancing to music, all that kind of stuff that they're fully able to access. And it seems as though they are getting right to that as we see Ashton, Emma, and Kaylee enjoying the hot tub while Tyson cooks up a meal. Meanwhile, Pete is being stinky in the corner by himself. But just because they're living large does not mean that they're going to win the food task overall. The people on Flight 19 just so happen to be able to earn points themselves, if they're not too busy being allured by Jace's charm. Now, their flight is gonna last a little bit longer, unfortunately, and that gives Jace a perfect amount of time to start hypnotizing people and sucking their blood. Now, like I said earlier, hypnotizing and forcing people to let you drink their blood is forbidden. Alluring them was one thing, takes a little bit more work, but this is going to be another strike. So Jace officially has 2 out of 3 strikes. If he gets another, he will be removed from the house.
Leave me. Fernay Globy.
Flab, my bees a she-do.
Flynn. Crummy.
Neeb.
At first, I'm actually pretty surprised that no one has any sort of reaction. I don't know if it's because they're already, being allured by him or what, but no one really seems to care that he just bit into Emmanuel's neck. And Emmanuel is trying to immediately take a nap. Thankfully, he actually found a chair. He didn't just fall with his ass up on the floor. But yeah, everyone's just kind of ignoring what just happened in front of them. They're more concerned about wanting to get off the plane. That is until Alex starts to turn into a werewolf once again.
Mean.
Whoa!
These humans are definitely in danger of being locked in a plane with 2 vampires, an active werewolf, and an alien. Yikes. Hopefully no one else gets snacked on like Emmanuel.
Nopsalimita.
Nobby.
5:05 p.m. One activity that both flights can do to earn points is to hang out in the nude. And it looks as though Ashton and Sophia are already getting busy doing that. But they're not the only ones, as Addison hops out of the hot tub to strip down. And as Addison gets nude, everyone in the hot tub enjoys the show. However, Addison has not been happy for a while. She's actually been angry since arriving to their new destination, and I don't know when that's going to wear off. We see that Sophia is the first to go to bed. Meanwhile, in Flight 19, things are going from bad to worse. Okay, so Jace might have turned off his alluring charm, but since Alex is now a werewolf, I kinda had to do an emergency landing. And unfortunately, we didn't get to make the correct destination. Instead, Flight 19 is now stranded on a deserted island. However, the door is unlocked for you to explore your new location. And with Alex kind of freaking out and destroying the furniture as a werewolf, no one is really willing to explore the island. Instead, I think they'd rather just stay on the plane. But he keeps running around and tormenting everyone. Now, you might be noticing that there's this little area right outside the plane that has a gate and it's fenced off. Well, this little cage is actually going to be for Kate. Now, Kate did not follow the rules and decided to drop out in the last food task. So, I said she would be punished, and her punishment is here. Instead of taking part in the task, she will not, and instead be secluded and locked in a cage with no access to food, no access to a bathroom, and the only thing she's able to sleep on is a stone bench. Meanwhile, everyone else can explore the island, where there is hot springs, a grill, some places to sleep, a refrigerator. And now that Alex is finally turned back into a human, he's finally, settled, breathed in the fresh air, everyone else can slowly relax too and be able to come out of the plane. Now, of course, a huge activity that they're going to be doing is being in the nude and enjoying the hot springs. But unfortunately, the only bathroom they're going to have from now on are the bushes. So things are probably going to get pretty dirty pretty fast. But with that is going to wrap up today's episode. And of course, like always, there's a new episode every weekday, so I will see you guys tomorrow. And make sure you keep voting. Either Alex or Jace will be going home on Friday, and the vote closes tomorrow after tomorrow's episode. So get your votes in now. You can either comment down below as many times as you want, or head over to the community page and vote on the poll there, or head over on my Twitter. And with that, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye.